Good afternoon, Bobcats. I'm here today with Jim Thomas, our site superintendent with Geiger Brothers, and Mr. Matthew McCorkle, our high school principal, and we're going to do an update walking tour today. It's been about 3 months since we did our last one, and boy, has this place taken a different shape. So I'll be putting this together in different segments, but I hopefully in order from areas A, B, C, D, and E, if you remember that from the first posting. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, Bobcats, here we are. We're walking in. This is going to be the main entrance of our new school. To the left of me is area A, admin. And then I'm going to come back around and try not to make you seasick or have myself fall. But to my right is area E, that is our kindergarten and pre-K wing and the storm shelter. So I'm going to bring you back to center. What you're looking at in the distance would be the common area where we'll have our cafeteria seating, entrance to the gym, entrance to the stage. But for now, I'm going to stop right here and then I'll pick back up when we enter the admin wing. Okay, Bobcats, we're now in the admin wing. You can see Mr. McCorkle there in the distance. He's looking out his window there. That's where his office will be. This area will be divided up into our secretaries and greeting lounge, where people visiting the building will have to stop first. Our admin offices are here and our counselors' offices. We do have a conference room that will be in here as well. But this is really the first stop as you enter the building. I'll stop here and we'll pick up at our next pod. For our next stop, I'll give you a little point of reference. What I am looking at now, or pointing at now, is the admin area that we just left. This is on the opposite side of that wall. And this will be the entrance into area A, which is our elementary wing. Right now, of course, you can see there's scaffolding here above me. And if George Moore is watching, George will be proud of me. I'm wearing my steel-toed shoes, my safety vest, and my hard hat right now. So we are all, of course, in compliance. But I'm walking now up toward the elementary wing. Okay, you'll see Jim and Mr. McCorkle talking there, checking everything out. But this is our wing for grades 1 through 3. As you can tell, there's been some significant progress since our last walkthrough. I'm going to walk up here a little bit because one of the beams that our students signed is in this area. I can tell that I'm shaking the camera a little bit. I'm sorry about that. I'll send some pictures of this actual beam a little bit closer for everybody. But as I point up here, you can tell that this is the beam that our kiddos signed. See if I can enlarge it a little. I don't know if you can from this angle or from this height see the actual names, but I will send some pictures out too, so that you can see what our kiddos all signed. Okay, and once again, this is area A, our elementary 1 through 3 wing. We'll turn back around. That's the area I just walked in. As we entered, that's the door that I'll be exiting back out of to go back out into the building area. And here's the rest of this space. At this point, I'm now walking out of that most recent area, coming back out into the more common space. I'm going to turn here and show you this will be one of our stairways to get upstairs. They're in the background. Those will be exit doors on the bottom and then a viewing window up top. This area that has the concrete pad that Mr. McCorkle and Jim Thomas are standing on will be kind of our health services area right here. Centrally located for the most part for our kiddos. And the area that I'm showing you now is the gym wall from inside the school. The pockets that you see on that wall are the supports for the mezzanine that will be up over top, that you can look down into the common area here where I'm standing, down into the cafeteria area or cafetorium area. And I will make my way over to the gym. Okay, everyone, I just hope that you remember this is an active construction site, so you're going to see equipment such as what I'm standing next to right now, as well as some construction debris. But I'm going to make my way forward, and this is the set of 2 double doors that will be on the home side of the gym. Make my way around here. And as I come in, I'm going to just kind of make my way over to one corner. I know this is not a particularly interesting view right here, but I'll make my way over to one corner, and I'm going to turn around, and you can see the depth of this gymnasium. I'm standing on the home side. Mr. McCorkle and Mr. Thomas are toward the visitor side. The 2 doors that you can see in the distance are the locker room areas, and we will take you back in there so you can kind of see that layout. But everything is up here in the gym. As far as all the foundation and the walls here, concrete pad poured. And I will make my way now over to the locker room area. I've made my way to the other side of the gym, and I'm going to now enter the locker room area. There'll be a little step up here. Now this door to my right, and then this door on the opposite end here are both, of course, egress doors. And where I'm standing now, this area will be blocked off to where you can see these stub outs that are here on the floor. Those will be some different offices and smaller rooms there. So this will ultimately be a corridor. But as we come over here, there'll be, as I said, kind of an imaginary wall right through here that separates that office space I just told you about from the area I'm standing in now. This will be where the some additional locker room space will be. Kind of come around this way. And then now I'm standing on the boys' side, and then we'll come back into the actual main locker room area here. There is an emergency exit only door on this end. Of course, there's some equipment here, but this is the boys' side, and you can see the shower fixtures are here already in place, a lot of the plumbing. The other side of this area where I'm standing, closer to where Mr. McCorkle and Mr. Thomas are, that's the girls' side of the locker room, and they of course have an emergency exit only as well. For safety purposes, these 2 doors will be non-entry doors. These will be exit only. And just for a point of reference, I'm going to just step outside this boys' exit here, and you can see how close we are to the stadium. These are the visitor side bleachers here for the stadium project. Okay, now I'm going to swing you back around inside. We're back inside the locker room area here. When I start back up again, we'll be moving over to Area C. We've done Area A admin, Area A elementary 1 through 3, and then this is Area B, gym and locker room. Okay, Bobcats, I actually stepped outside of the gym area. Just to my right here, this is the outer wall of the home side of the bleachers, of the home side of the gymnasium. And this actually is going to be the main entrance for bus drop-offs, which is in the back of the building. There will be a small canopy on a portion of this, but I thought I would show you that as our kids come in from the bus and they make their way here to the more common area for breakfast or homerooms, whatever their next stop would be. Now give me a second here. I've got some tricky terrain right here. Let me get over, pay attention to where I'm walking. Now that we've come in through the outside and shown where the buses will be dropping off our kiddos, here is Area C. This is the high school wing. It is a 2-story wing, just like Area A Elementary 1 through 3. And then there will be classrooms on top of that too. That lower floor is 1 through 3. I'm going to stop here and see if I can zoom in a little bit on these gray pipes that are coming up out of the ground here. That is the base for the chemistry labs, for the chemicals and things that we need, the gases and things that we need for those experiments. I hope I said that right, Jim. Okay, we'll zoom back out again here. Forgive my walking here across some more rough terrain, but I am going to get in here a little bit better so that I can spin around too. Okay, here's this entry wall. Classroom windows on the first floor, and you can see on the second floor, kind of in here, especially in between those 2 crane booms, you can see the notches on the top. That's where windows will be for the second floor as it gets built up. And you can see what those windows look like when they're finished on this wall. Then on back around here by our chemistry area again. And we'll swing back out into the main common area. And just as a viewpoint, the area that I'm zooming in now, that is back on the admin wing where we first walked in. This area goes back into the elementary wing. Here's the gym, and then that little notch there, that's the entrance I just came through, which is where the kiddos will come in off the bus. And then now I'm standing in Area C, the high school wing. What you're looking at now, I'm sure you have figured out, is the elevator pit that is in process right now. And it is just outside, for a point of reference, it's just outside the gym home side entrance, and it will go obviously up to the second floor and be a nice kind of accommodation for folks who may have some struggles getting up and down stairs. Okay, I'm going to swing back around here into our common area. The area I'm looking at right now is our kitchen prep area and storage. I'm going to walk over there and kind of step up onto it, but again, I'm going to look down and make sure I see where I'm walking. I can usually walk and talk with no problem, but on this area I'm a little more cautious. So here we are now, we're standing in the kitchen prep area. That big square piece that's dug out here on the floor is for all the coolers, our refrigeration units to keep our food nice and safe. And coming on up here, this is our entire kitchen and serving area that I'm standing on right now, this concrete. Come back around here, you can see it again. Kind of spun you around 360 there. And I'll cut off now and come back when I get to the stage area. As a point of reference for you now, I'm pointing the camera to the kitchen area where we just stepped out of. I'm back in the common area and making my way to the other side of the building. This area that you're looking at is a corridor. It's a service corridor for the kitchen, and it's also meant to be a service corridor for our band kiddos who need to get some big equipment in and out of the building onto buses and trailers for travel. So that corridor is more of a service corridor. And I'm going to swing my camera around. You can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see those are the concrete steps that have been put in as a foundation for our stage area. And the band room is directly behind that toward Lafayette Lane. I'm going to stop this now until I get up into that area. I've reached the top of the steps now for the stage area. Now this area is heavily under construction, as you can see, with a lot of scaffolding and different things going on. But this will be the stage area. I'm pointing here at the steps that go down. The other side has a ramp for good accessibility. And I'm going to make my way kind of through the scaffolding here so that I can give you a quick look at the band room, which is behind the stage, of course. Okay. Coming out here, I'm going to get kind of in the corner. Sorry, you may see Mr. McCorkle here, and pan you around to where you'll see the band room space. I know there were some concerns early on, and we did have some plans early on to perhaps have the band room as a part of the stage area, but it does have its own space. So those of you who were concerned about that early on, I want you to be sure to see that this is a dedicated space. Okay, now as you saw when I came in, we were weaving through a lot of scaffolding. I'm going to turn this off and get to the next area. I've made my way to the back wall of the band room, and looking down into this area, this is the main mechanical space for the building for all of our functionality. Now we do have smaller mechanical spaces throughout the building because you know there are junctions and things that need to happen, but this is the main mechanical area here. Okay, and I'll swing back around into the band room and we'll make our way to the next section. I have left the band area back onto the stage area, and now I'm going to walk out. This is one of our access areas onto the stage. I'm coming down the ramp, that's our access. And I will have to do a little limbo getting out here. Even as short as I am, I'll have to step down for this one. And I will pick back up as we enter Area E. Okay folks, here's where I just stepped down out of that ramp area, and I'm swinging around here to what will be the opening corridor for Area E, which is pre-K and K. I'm going to step up onto here very carefully and come down this corridor, and as we get to the end of it, you'll see, let me stay here because you'll to try to get this in view. This is the kinesthetic area, or the activity area that's just outside of the kindergarten and preschool classrooms. This is a nice big space for some activities if they want to work together, if they want to have inside recess here, library, the options are endless here really for this kinesthetic area. It's really nice. And it also serves a secondary function because, as many of you are aware, Area E, which is preschool and kindergarten, this is our storm shelter area, so it has a different level of construction. And this is an area that will make it very possible for the entire population of the building to get in here safely. There are restrooms in each of the classrooms in this wing, so should there be a necessity for the large group to come down here, there are facilities for them. And then, of course, on a day-to-day basis, those facilities are here for our youngest Bobcats. I'm going to step up here. There is a lot of debris here, but just to give you an idea of, I'm not going to get into the entire piece here, but here's one of our classrooms. I know it's kind of skewed a little bit because of the angle that I'm in. This is a preschool classroom, I believe. And this one will have restroom facilities here. I'm going to come back out into this area, the kinesthetic room area. And you can see there's a lot of debris, just because, again, it is an active construction area. But the classrooms do expand or extend all the way down this hallway. And there will be an exit or an egress door on every end of each pod. This particular one will go out into the pre-K playground, which is where some of that scaffolding and metal ironwork is out in the distance there. But this has a whole other level of construction to it because of that storm shelter functionality. As I turn back around, you can see the corridor goes back out into the common area. The area I'm pointing at now is Area E, the kindergarten and preschool wing, which I just came out of. And I'm going to swing back around to my right, back toward Gallia Pike, the front of the building. And we're back here where we started with the admin wing and the main entrance area here. As I exit, I'm going to turn back around and show you just kind of a wide pan of the kind of entire building area from outside. This, as I come back around, you'll see Mr. McCorkle and Mr. Thomas speaking here in the distance. But this is where parent drop-off will be, and our kiddos who are dropped off by a family member will come in this way. That way, as we've talked about, a priority piece for us is to keep those two functionality pieces, operational pieces, separate. I'm going to turn this off now, and the next time I turn it on, it'll be to just do a pan across the whole front. As we close out today's video, I've taken us back to the front where the front corner of the admin wing is, and I'm just going to kind of pan across slowly. I know the sun is not our friend, maybe with video quality, but you can see kind of back into everywhere. And I'm over here now in E, where our preschool and kindergarten wing is, and I'm going to come back around. Each pod has safety doors that will close in the event of an emergency. Of course, we have our storm shelter. We have key card entries that will be coming. Several exit-only doors for egress safety, but to limit access inside. That's just security cameras throughout. That's just touching the surface on the additional security pieces that we have here in this building. I know with current events that is, well, it's always on our minds here, but with current events that brings it back up all the time. But those are just some of the basic things. I would love to share a more comprehensive list with you in the near future. But all in all, this is going to be an amazing facility. And Bobcats, I thank you for joining me on our updated walking tour, and I hope you have a great weekend.